Okay, so to start our next granny square, which the next one we're doing is this one, which this one's a little bit different just because I switched colors. Like I start with brown, which I'm gonna start with brown. This one too. So to start, it's honestly gonna look really similar to that because they kind of use the same thing. So we're going to start with a slip knot. We're going to chain 4. You can chain 3 if you want. You can chain 5, I guess, but I'm gonna chain 4. So that gives me a nice, easy to find space that I need to work into. So join that with a slip stitch, make a circle, and we're gonna chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And we're gonna work into this ring again, pretty similar to how we did last time, where we're gonna do 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to chain 2. We're going to do 3 more double crochet. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to chain 2 more and do 3 more double crochet. 1, 2, 3. And in this last corner, we're going to do 2 more chains, and then we're just going to do 2 double crochet in that center right there. So boom, there we have it, and we're going to slip stitch into the next round just like we did the first square. It's partly why I started with it, because they use a lot of the same stitches, but this is going to be a little bit different. I say a little bit, it's going to be quite a lot different, because for this square we're going to be changing colors for one, but we're also going to be flipping it with each row. So we started from here. As you can see, I'm actually going to cut off this yarn. I'm not going to weave it in yet, but when we start with each color, we're going to be taking our work and we're going to be working on the other side of it. You can't, it's really hard to see, but there's actually like tiny little like knots, I guess, so you can kind of tell when you're working with the back or the front. We're going to be working in this side of our work. So after you start your first row, actually all the rows for this square, every single time we're going to be flipping it. So when I grab the square I used as an example, you can kind of tell, like, this is the back of the square, this is the front, this is the back, this is the front. Like, you can kind of tell by those little grooves that with each row we're going to be flipping it, essentially. So now we're going to go on with our next color, and we're going to start our second round. Okay, so to start row 2 of this, I'm just changing my color up, so I have green now. And again, we're going to be working in the back of this. I'm not going to weave in my ends until the end, but just so you can see, like, it was like that, and now we're flipping it. So I'm going to kind of unethically to switch colors, I'm going to chain 5 into any of the corners that you want. So 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops, that was not good, 4, 5. So after chaining 5, you want to go into that chain 2 space that you're working into, and you're going to do 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and this is different from the last square because we're not going to be putting any stitches into those stitches that we have in between our chain spaces. We're just going to be going straight into the next chain space. So now we're going to be doing 3 double crochets into the next space. So 1, 2, 3. This is gonna feel a little bit unnatural just because you have like big gaps in your work, but I promise it'll be okay. It'll be okay. So 3, we're gonna be chaining 2, and then we're gonna be putting 3 more double crochets into that same corner. So 1, 2, 3. And I will say, because before I said that we were flipping it, I didn't really say why. If you don't flip your rows as you go, it'll end up like turning really like rhombus shaped, like really diamond shaped instead of like a square. It'll be like, it'll be crooked as you go, especially with bigger projects. So this just like eliminates that sort of thing. So 3 double crochet, and then we're going to be doing 3 more double crochet into the next chain 2. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to be chaining 2 again and putting 3 more double crochets into that same space. So 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Almost done. Once again, 3 double crochet into the next space. So 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and do 3 more. Woo, that went crazy. 3 more double crochet. So 1, 2, and oh, I lost a thread there. It's not good. 1, 2, 3. Okay, awesome. So looking at our next space that we started from, we have the chain 2 and we have a double crochet, but we need 2 more. So we're gonna put 2 more double crochets into that corner. So 1, 2, so that gives us 3, and then a chain 2 and a 3 double crochet. And we're going to be slip stitching into that computer chain. So that gives us our corner. So just stretching it out a little bit. That is the end of our second row of our checkerboard pattern. Okay, so to start row 3, I'm just changing my color up again. Now I'm doing orange. Remember, we're gonna flip our work So we should see the front part of our first row. And flipping it, we're gonna do pretty much the same thing, except we're gonna do a little bit different with these side pieces. So I'm just gonna start, let's do this corner. We're gonna start in a corner, grabbing our new yarn and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From that 5, we're gonna do 3 double crochets. So 1, we're gonna do 3, but this yarn that I'm using is a little bit different, so I'll have to deal with that, but it's fine. It's probably easier for you to use the same types of yarn, like same thickness, instead of switching it up like I'm doing, but it's okay. So after those 3, we're gonna move into this space in between our 2 corners, and we're gonna put 3 double crochets in that space. So 1, 2, 3. And then once again, we're going to work into our corners. We're going to do 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3. We're going to chain 2 again and do 3 more. And this is going to continue all the way around for row 3. So it's going to be 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then I will come back after I've done my 3 double crochets into that space. So I've just come back from finishing up those 3 double crochets, and to finish up row 3, we are going to put 2 double crochets into that first corner. So 1, 2, and then we are just going to slip stitch into that 3rd chain to connect it and finish that up. So yeah, that is our 3rd row done. Okay, so to finish up our final row of this granny square, we are going to be changing colors again and flipping our work so that we see the back part of the last row that we did. And we're going to start off by chaining 5 into a corner with our new color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're gonna put 3 double crochets into this corner. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. And then we're going to do 3 more double crochets into our first space between our corners. So we're going to be doing 1, 2, 3, kind of similar to the last row that we just did with our, well, in my case it's orange, but whatever color you're using. And then we're going to do 3 again. So 1, 2, 3, And we're going to continue this all the way around for our last row by doing groups of 3 double crochets, and in the corners 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, just like we've been doing this entire square so far. And I will come back when I am done with this space. Okay, so I've just finished my section of 3 double crochets leading up to that last corner. And to finish up this square, I'm just going to put 2 double crochet in that corner that we started in. 2. And I'm going to slip stitch into that 3rd chain in that corner, and that is this granny square completed. Okay, so I've just weaved in all of my ends. So now we have our solid granny square and we have our checkerboard, which after blocking they'll both be about the same size for sewing them together. That's what you're doing. That's what I'm doing. But I have just finished weaving in all my ends, so we're gonna start the 3rd granny square.